So students, today we will start our new compound. Okay, it is sulfuric acid. So we will read about H2SO4 or sulfuric acid. So it is mainly known as a mineral. Okay, because it is found mainly in earth crust. Okay, it is not an inorganic or not an organic, because we are saying it as a mineral because it is not obtained from any animal or plant. Okay, so if we understood its structure, if we talk about its structure, so its structure look like, okay, sulfur, oxygen, okay, one here, and here also one oxygen, here hydrogen, and here double bond oxygen and double bond oxygen. Okay, so this is the typical structure of H2SO4. So if you see in this image, okay, as you know that it is more electronegative, oxygen is more electronegative than its hydrogen. Okay, so there is a repulsion will be occur here, so a positive charge become on the hydrogen. Okay, so this is the particular structure of this H2SO4. So on the basis of this, what we can conclude, okay, we can conclude its basicity, because the number of hydrogen atom represent the basicity of any compound. Okay, so on the basis of number of hydrogen atoms, can you tell me the basicity of this H2SO4? So the simple thing is that number of hydrogen atoms here 2. Okay, 2 H ion here, it means it is dibasic. So the basic dibasic means basicity means number of hydrogen atoms, okay, on dissolution which can uh, give us. Okay, so 2 number of hydrogen it can give, so its basicity also, when we talk about its basicity, it's also become the 2. Okay, that's why it is also known as dibasic. Okay, we tell it as a dibasic. So this is the uh, properties, okay, one property. And now we move to the preparation. Okay, if we talk about the lab preparation, it's lab preparation. So it is mainly formed by when sulfur react with, when sulfur react with nitric acid, okay, HNO3, it should be concentrated. It forms, what we have to make, H2SO4. Okay, we have to make H2SO4 plus water, and nitrogen dioxide will be formed in this reaction. Okay, NO2, this is space problem in this. Okay, NO2, NO2 is full formed. Okay, so for balancing you have to remember that here 6 uh, number of nitric acid. Okay, so now we can easily balance it. 6 NO2 will be here and 2 H2O. Okay, so this is a balance equation. So by this you can understand that for lab preparation we have to react this sulfur, okay, sulfur with nitric acid, and it forms the sulfuric acid. So for large scale, now if we talk about the industrial preparation, if we have to understand its industrial preparation, okay, industrial preparation, so or large scale manufacture, what we can say, for large scale manufacture there is a main important process. Okay, in exam often asked, it is very important, that its name is contact process. If you go through chapter you have to recall it. Okay, contact process, you have not to understand about the uh, whole process, you have to not read about the whole process, you have to just remember the steps. Okay, because in exam only steps will be asked. Okay, so don't go into very much detail of this process. Okay, just understand the topic. Okay, so if you see, first is produce SO2. What is we have to do in first step? Okay, first step is production of SO2. Production of SO2. So we can produce SO2 directly by reacting sulfur with oxygen. Okay, so it forms sulfur dioxide. Okay, and this is the first process, but in exam mainly asked how can we produce SO2 from iron pyrite or iron sulfide. Okay, so from iron sulfide mainly as an exam it is important. Okay, I will share notes with you after that class. Iron pyrite, from iron pyrite, so we will see the reaction how it is take place. So Fe(S2), it is iron sulfide or iron pyrite also called as, and oxygen. In presence of oxygen we provide heat. Okay, we heat it, it forms the sulfur dioxide plus ferric oxide, Fe2O3. Okay, so this is the reaction. For balancing equation, here you can see that 3 to 2 mole of oxygen, so here you have to remember that 11 oxygen is here. Okay, so now for balancing 8 sulfur now here, so we have to put 4 here. Okay, so this is the balance equation. Now only 2 Fe is here. So if you see this in this equation, okay, 11 oxygen molecule react with 4 Fe(S2) and it forms the 8 molecules of sulfur dioxide. Okay, so this is the process of production of sulfur dioxide. Okay, now we have to remember we were reading about the contact process. Okay, in first process we produce SO2 now. Okay, as you see SO2 will be produced now, and next step is second step is oxidation of sulfur dioxide to sulfur trioxide. Okay, oxidation of SO2 to SO3. Okay, SO2 to SO3. So in this reaction, how does this reaction take place? And it is very important reaction often asked in exam. Okay, SO2 plus oxygen in presence of vanadium pentaoxide. Remember the name V2O5, vanadium pentaoxide, and it forms SO3. Okay, so for balance 2SO2 plus 2SO3 will be formed here. So this is the reaction, okay, in which we make sulfur trioxide from sulfur dioxide. Okay, it is often asked in exam, and there are some condition. As you see, it is a reversible process. Okay, it is taking in both direction, forward and backward as well as. Okay, so you have to understand by their sign. So what are the condition? First is, okay, for forward reaction mainly the temperature should be 450 degrees centigrade. Okay, it is not more than 450 degrees, not less than. Okay, and the temperature should be 450 degrees centigrade, and we take the high pressure for it. Okay, high pressure is required, approximately 2 atmospheric pressure. Okay, 2 atmospheric pressure will be required to happen this reaction. Okay, and catalyst we use often in this vanadium pentaoxide, or we can use platinum also, but it is so costly. Okay, so that's why we use only vanadium pentaoxide. So, and excess of O2, in presence of excess of O2, this process will be react very smoothly. It happens very smoothly. Okay, so the role of catalyst you already know that it always increase the reaction. Okay, we use catalyst to mainly increase the reaction. Okay, so that's why we use this equation. Okay, this is the main step of this reaction. And the in last step, because we have to make H2SO4, remember, so last step is still here, that absorption of SO3, okay, which make in second step. Now we have to absorb it. Okay, for this we cannot go through directly. Okay, we can write directly this equation H2O and it forms the H2SO4. uh, so we have to not do this reaction because it is very highly exothermic reaction. Okay, so we take it as a stepwise step process. So first SO3, okay, first SO3 go through with concentrated H2SO4. Okay, concentrated H2SO4, it forms S2 S2O7 first. Okay, we have to make S2S2O7 first. Its name is oleum. Okay, oleum is called. Then its dilution will be occur. Okay, in presence of water, dilution will be occur and then form the 2S2SO4. Then we will form the H2SO4. So it is a alternate process. Okay, not in a single step. Two steps we have to use. You can divide it in the steps 3 and 4 also, and in 3 steps also. Okay, it's your own desire. So this is the process of making H2SO4 in large amount, okay, or in industry. Okay, so the name of the process, contact process, and it come under 3 steps. Okay, first is production of SO2, second one is oxidation of SO2 to SO3, and in third one absorption of SO3. Okay, so if we talk about some properties of this sulfuric acid. Okay, first it is a colorless, odorless, and main thing, it is heavier than water. Okay, you have to understand these properties, and other you can read from your book also. Okay, one another thing is here, that if I asked you difference between, okay, difference between dilute dilute and concentrated H2SO4. Okay, H2SO4 is here. So what is the difference between them? Dilute and concentrated H2SO4. So when we talk about this, okay, it is first one. In first, dilute H2SO4 is strong acid. It is strong acid, and concentrated was not assumed as acid. Okay, because for happening a acid, it should be what it should be. It should be dissolved in its. It should be break into its ions. Okay, so in its concentrated form, it is not as a not act as a acid. And another, I just write short method is dilute, and here is concentrated one. Okay, H2SO4. The small board is here, and we have to write with the hand. So see, okay. Second one is electrolyte. It is act as a electrolyte because it dissolves into ants, and it is not act as a electrolyte. Okay, concentrated one. Next, for dilute and for concentrated one, okay, it is not a oxidizing agent. Whenever you read about the dilute H2SO4, okay, it is not a oxidizing agent, and it act as a oxidizing agent. Okay, it is not a dehydrating agent. It is not a dehydrating agent. Concentrated one act as a dehydrating agent, and it is non-volatile. Okay, it is not it is volatile. Okay, sorry, dilute one is volatile. When we talk about the dilute one, it is volatile. Okay, it is volatile. And when we talk about the concentrated one, it is non-volatile. So now we will go through their properties in detail. Okay, as difference also clear then. So first we will read the properties of dilute H2SO4, or you can say that reactions. Okay, by reactions we will understand their nature. First is acidic property. Acidic property. As you know, only dilute H2SO4 will be act as a acid. Okay, so acidic property is shown by only H2SO4, which is diluted one. Okay, so okay, acid is reactive with metal sulfide, sulfite T. Okay, sulfite. Then what will be formed? It forms as uh, yes. Okay, H2O plus salt. SO2 will be formed here. So we can write an example. Okay, suppose H2 SO4 plus one metal sulfide is suppose sodium sulfite is here, Na2SO3, and it will form SO2 plus H2O, and its salt will be formed. What is salt called? Na2SO4, sodium sulfate. Okay, so this is the example, and you have to understand that H2SO4 always here in dilute condition, because dilute one is in acidic form. Okay, one another main property of an acid: whenever acid react with any metal, it forms hydrogen gas will be released. Okay, yes, because it is a very important reaction one, and you can easily give the examples now. Okay, suppose uh, we react H2SO4 with any metal, suppose zinc is here. Okay, so it forms zinc sulfate. Okay, plus hydrogen gas will be evolved. So these are the examples. Okay, and you have to remember that, not forget to put dilute whenever you write this equation. Okay, for exam perspective you have to be prepared about it. Okay. Another example we can take. Okay, in this example, if acid plus metal sulfide. Okay, in first example we talk about the sulfite. Now we have to give the answer of sulfide D. Okay, what will be formed here? Good. Hydrogen sulfide plus salt. Okay, so reaction will be written as H2SO4 plus ZnS. Suppose zinc sulfide is here, so it forms H2S, and salt will be ZnSO4. Okay, so these are the some reactions of concentrated dilute H2SO4. Okay, so these are the acidic properties shown by the dilute H2SO4. Now we will understand the properties of concentrated H2SO4. So we talking about its as we know that it is a oxidizing agent, dehydrating agent. Okay, and it shows non-volatile nature. So we have to understand by this, by its mainly equations or reactions. So first we understand it as a oxidizing agent, how it is act as a oxidizing agent. Suppose we take one example. Okay, carbon plus H2SO4, and here you have to write concentrated, don't forget to write concentrated one, and it forms the carbon dioxide plus sulfur dioxide plus water. Okay, so this is the reaction. Example will be clear. Okay, sulfur plus H2SO4 should be concentrated one. Okay, and it forms SO2 plus H2O. So it also oxidizes non-metals. So here also sulfur is oxidized to sulfur dioxide. Okay, oxygen is adding in this. Another example we can take for clearance, phosphorus, suppose. Okay, phosphorus, if when react with this H2SO4, it forms S3PO4 plus SO2 plus H2O. Okay, another example, hydrogen sulfide plus H2SO4. This is important reaction. In one time I am seeing that asked in exam also, S plus H2O. Okay, so in this reaction what is happened, can you elaborate? uh, you have to say that hydrogen sulfide is reduced to sulfur. Okay, because we are reading about its oxidizing properties. So when you have to understand, you have to go through the chapter oxidation reduction one. Okay, so then you will be understand well. Now we will move to the next property. Its next property is dehydrating agent. Okay, we understood about the its oxidizing agenting property. Now we understand it as a dehydrating agent. Dehydrating agent means, so dehydrating agent means whenever removal of water occur, okay, but it chemically occur, so that's why we call it as a dehydrating agent. Okay, removal of water chemically is known as dehydration in chemistry. So there are some reaction. First reaction is if you see, first reaction with alcohol. Okay, when alcohol heated in 170 degrees centigrade, okay, in presence of concentrated H2SO4, it forms alkene. What will be formed? Alkene. So what we have to do? We have to do only, we have to remove water, okay, from the formula of alcohol. What is the formula of ethyl alcohol? Ethyl alcohol formula, chemical formula. Hmm. C2H5OH. Okay, so when we take the example of ethyl alcohol, you have to write here ethyl alcohol. Okay, in 170 degrees centigrade, and the same procedure concentrated H2SO4. So we have to remove this water from here. Okay, remove this water, and it forms H2O. We can write here H2O. The products are plus C2. Now what will left here? C2H4. C2H4. Okay, so it means ethene will be formed here. Okay, so when in this is also a dehydration reaction in which ethyl alcohol, okay, is when dehydrated, it's formed the ethene. Okay, so product will be formed here ethene. Another important example of this Dehydration reaction as a dehydrating agent of H2SO4 is dehydration of sugar crystal. Dehydration of sugar crystal. Sugar crystal means C12H22O11. This is the chemical formula of sugar. Okay, in crystal form it was. So when we react it with concentrated H2SO4, I'm writing below, but you have to write here. Okay, H2SO4, it forms H2O and charcoal will be formed here. See, okay, it is called charcoal and it is called as a sugar charcoal. It is not black charcoal, it is sugar charcoal. Okay, so for balancing reaction, you have to remember that 11 here, 11 H2, just put here 11. Okay, then after that, uh, 12 carbon is here, 12 carbon is also here. Okay, so this is the balance equation. So mainly this is dehydration of sugar alcohol. Okay, now the last one, it's non-volatile nature. Okay, now we will understand it's about non-volatile nature of concentrated H2SO4. Okay, it means it do not form vapors. Non-volatile means it not form vapors in any reaction. Okay, uh, we use it to form the volatile acid. Okay, as it is non-volatile, so we will use it. Okay, so we will use it to form volatile acid as NHO3 and HCl. Okay, so sometime question also asked in exam, these two are volatile in nature. Okay, when we talk about the nitric acid and HCl, they are volatile in nature, but sulfuric acid, that's why sulfuric acid is used in many reactions and many industries because of its non-volatile nature. Okay, so now we have to understand that how it is used to form these HNO3 or HCl. Okay, so suppose there is a reaction NaNO3 plus H2SO4. Okay, nitrate, when we react with this metal nitrate, sodium nitrate with H2SO4, and the temperature will be less than 200 degrees centigrade. Okay, so NaHSO4 sodium bisulfate plus HNO3 will be formed. So due to its non-volatile nature, we use it to form it as the volatile acid like HNO3 and HCl. Okay, now we will see how it is used to form the HCl. Okay, when NaCl react with H2SO4 in presence of temperature not more than 200 degrees centigrade, it forms NaHSO4 plus HCl will be formed. So these are the mainly reactions which will be asked in the exams mainly. Okay, in sulfuric acid 1 chapter 1, and another reaction can be asked in exam as its reaction with KNO3 potassium nitrate plus H2SO4. Okay, don't remember to write concentrated. Okay, don't forget to write, sorry, KHSO4 KHSO4 plus HNO3. So these are the reactions which are important for your exam perspective, and they show the non-volatile nature of this uh, sulfuric acid. Okay, so one question is for you, that uh, why we add concentrated H2SO4 to water. Okay, why not add water on H2SO4 for dilution? Okay, to prevent any damage, okay, or any harm to us, we have to add only slowly to water. Okay, very slowly to water we have to add acid always. So this is a common question asked in exams sometime. Okay, that we have to add acid to water, not water on acid. Okay, because it is very highly exothermic reaction. Okay, so we have to add very slowly. Also, one precaution we have to take, that when we add acid to water, okay, I write here also, acid to water, you have to remember that. Okay, we have to add acid to water. So by this you can remember. Okay, so this is the reaction which we mainly we have to understand in this chapter, okay, of this sulfuric acid. So like this